I'm Carol Angela Davis. Thank you for joining me on your reality news check for Monday, September 26, 2011. We begin with our headlines as we always do. The young people, folks, the 99 percenters, are strong in their disgust in American greed. They are still occupying Wall Street. Also today, folks, we have news of UBS and the continuing disaster. These banksters are a mess. Also, Saudi Arabia lets women vote. Will it happen anytime soon? Wouldn't that be nice? Also today, John Boehner seeking to avoid mean mistakes of prior GOP leaders. Can he do it? Also today, FEMA says disaster fund running dry either tomorrow or Wednesday. Also, Obama to the Black Caucus, stop complaining, grumbling, and crying. Plus, Representative Joe Walsh. He's so funny. You know Joe. You remember him. We'll tell you what he says. The media protect Obama because he's black and liberal. How about that, Joe? Who's protecting you? Also, Cain wins an upset victory in Florida in the presidential straw poll there. Let's begin with your stories. It is the 10th day of protest, folks. It is the 9th day of protest for the group Occupy Wall Street. They are protesting against Wall Street and against big corporations. Over the weekend, police were seen using tasers and mace to control the crowd. The group says, no problem. All you are doing is making us more committed to our cause. Right now, police say that the group has about 80 people who are on hand in Liberty Park there in Manhattan, formerly Zuccotti Park. They renamed it Liberty Park. But there are many, many, many supporters who can't get to New York City, so they are supporting them via the web. The protests, as you know, they began on September 17th when hundreds of protesters gathered at Bowling Green Park in Manhattan. Of course, that is the home of the iconic Charging Bull in New York's financial district. They said they were there to, quote, take the bull by the horns, unquote. They call themselves the 99% that will no longer tolerate the greed and corruption of the 1%. More specifically, they said they're not going to tolerate the thinking of, quote, profit over and above all else, unquote. Go young people. That's right. The group says that kind of thinking has dominated America's economic policies and the way in which America views culture and humanity. They are not kidding. We're proud of these young people. All right, now, one person who commented on a story about the 99%ers said this. He says, and this is a quote, but now the media and government want sheeple who will sit down, shut up, and buy more stuff in between watching Kate plus 8 and Kim Kardashian getting married. Yippee! It only took us 200 years to fall like Rome, but many of us are awake and won't let it happen. Unquote! Stand strong. Hey, stand behind these young people. See what you can do to help them. Go to their website. In financial news, the banksters, they're so active. Yes, UBS Chief Executive Oswald Grubel, he has resigned over that $2.3 billion, folks. Who can lose $2.3 billion to stay in business? Let's start there. Over that $2.3 billion loss caused by rogue trading. A single rogue trader, that's that interesting. Do you really think a single rogue trader can cause all this drama? A single rogue trader reportedly evaded all internal control systems. It's comical. It's laughable. No single person evaded all those internal control systems and sold $2.1 billion. Why do these people keep playing us like we're stupid? All right, that's what they say. They say a single rogue trader reportedly evaded all internal control systems and gambled away 2.3, oh, did I say 2.1? $2.3 billion. Grubel says he hopes his resignation will allow the bank to restore its reputation, not likely, in the eyes of clients, oh my goodness, and investors. Whoa, whoa, whoa. UBS Europe Chief Sergio Armati is going to take over immediately as interim chief executive until a replacement is appointed. Now, in the scandal, the trader, 31-year-old Kwaku out of Bowley, of course, he's under arrest. I call him the fall guy. You should know that UBS was one of the European bank's worst hit, folks. Don't miss it. Worst hit by failed investments in the subprime mortgage market. So you know they overlooked all that rogue trade and tried to make that money. And it's been accused also, UBS has been accused by the U.S. of tax evasion. We're talking about straight up banksters. Do not be confused about who we're talking about. Let's move on. In international news, there's good news for women in Saudi Arabia. Now they've been given the right to vote and run in future. There's the key. Municipal elections. They will also be appointed to the all-male Shura Advisory Council. That is the word from King Abdullah today. Now there is more, of course, to the story. Let's start with the fact that King Abdullah is 87 years old. Let's start there. They're scared that he's going to die and they won't get what they really need. The rights will not vest. All right, but there's, again, more to the story because this does not apply to the municipal elections that are happening this week. Thursday. You can vote, but not yet. Not yet, okay? All right, this applies to the municipal elections in 2015, folks, a full 4 years away when King Abdullah will be 91. If he's alive, the question is, will he even know what day it is? They got to get that stuff vested now. Just so you know, women still cannot drive or leave the country unaccompanied by their male whomevers, and the sexes are segregated in public. So you can vote if you can get to the polls. You can't drive. So if the poll isn't in your backyard, chances are you're not going to vote anyway. So hollow victory. In U.S. politics, did they learn from the mistakes of the past, and is it just a question of that? Yes, folks, reportedly. House Speaker Republican John Boehner, Republican from Ohio, says that he will not make the same mistakes again as he takes steps to illustrate GOP compassion. Yes, folks, GOP is compassionate. You probably didn't know that. He has endorsed, this is what he's done so far to show how compassionate they are. He has endorsed extending unemployment benefits. He has backed efforts to give back pay to those FAA officials who were furloughed last summer. This week, he indicated that the government won't shut down and disaster aid will soon be approved by Congress. Apparently, Boehner has advised his colleagues to accentuate the positive, to talk of areas where the parties can work together, but to still continue moving forward with their own agenda. Don't miss it, folks. Well, it's certainly good to appear compassionate, especially at a time like this. Polling shows that most people believe the economy is getting worse, folks, but seeming and being are two different things. Case in point, the FEMA funding. Let's hope there are no natural disasters this week, or that current disasters don't need any more aid, because FEMA says it is going to be straight up broke by Wednesday at the latest. Right now, the Federal Emergency Management Agency has approximately $175 million in its disaster relief fund, but that money's going to be gone at the latest by Wednesday. If the money is gone, it means this: all FEMA operations must cease by law. All right, that means there will be no disaster recovery or assistance operations. I don't care how many hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, floods, or whatever happened. Tough cookies for you, including financial assistance to individuals. Democrats rejected the bill on Friday. That's why it hasn't passed. Democrats rejected it. They rejected it because they objected to the fact that the Republicans would only, these compassionate Republicans, would only fund FEMA if at the same time they could deeply cut an energy program to offset the funding of FEMA. Democrats said absolutely not. Now, does that sound like compassionate Republicans? See, it probably is compassionate for Republicans. They're just not compassionate people, period. Meanwhile, Obama spoke to the Congressional Black Caucus, basically telling folks to stop complaining, grumbling, and whining. African Americans are a core constituency for Obama, and some of the community are raising concerns about his leadership, mainly, of course, due to the jobs and the poverty situation here in this country. Obama telling the group he understands the struggle, and the president further saying, I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to complain. I am going to press on. And to his CBC critics, he said this, quote, I expect all of you to march with me and press on. Take off your bedroom slippers, put on your marching shoes, shake it off, stop complaining, stop grumbling, and stop crying, unquote. Are people angry? Probably, but the bottom line is this. We got a whole lot of people that are against everything Obama does just because, well, we know why. So we have to stand and support Obama so he can get to the point where he can make everything happen for not only for all Americans, which everything he does helps all Americans, but then he can take a look at constituent groups, one of which are African Americans. He can't do it yet. The problems are too bad, and that's what they're betting on. They're betting that we will turn against, as African Americans, his core constituency will turn against him. We just can't let that happen, folks. Okay, let's go to Joe Walsh. Joe. You remember Joe. He's the Republican from Illinois who is being sued by his ex-wife because he owes, she says, more than $100,000 in unpaid child support. He's got the nerve to criticize someone. This guy's got gall. He says the media protect Obama and will work to get him reelected because he's black. Yeah. He says, quote, they are so vested in our first black president not being a failure that it's going to be amazing to watch the lengths they go to protect him. Joe, who's protecting you? Because I will tell you, I'll be honest with you, Joe. Your wife says you owe over $100,000 of child support. She's a lawyer, so she decided to take you to court. We know she has ground. She's not an idiot. You got 4 kids that you're not supporting. She says you've had 2 international vacations in the past year, yet you didn't pay your child support. And yet, Joe, you can have a job in the U.S. legislature. You can get paid by U.S. check. You can get health insurance on the dole, on the back of the U.S. people, on the government, on the welfare. That's what it is. Basically, it's welfare. You get all that, and you don't pay your child support. And you're not in jail, Joe. Who is protecting Joe Walsh? I'd like to know who it is because they ought to go to jail too. Who ever heard of leaving 4 kids out there without any child support? We have to pay for that. I don't think so. Well, I'll tell you another thing. I'll bet Joe Walsh's wife wishes he would go to greater lengths to pay his child support, and he would be vested enough in his children to protect them by paying his child support. How about that, Joe? Okay? Sorry, buddy. All right, and finally today in the race for the presidency 2012, what an upset for Republicans. Herman Cain, the former CEO of Godfather's Pizza, scored a victory in Florida's presidency 5 straw poll over the weekend. Cain getting more votes than the Republican primary's front-runners. We're talking Texas Governor Rick Perry and former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney combined. He blew the roof off the sucker, okay? Cain capturing 37% of the vote, while Perry took 15% and Romney took 14%. Oh, what a wake-up call. Those are your stories. Thanks for joining me. See you tomorrow, same time, same place, new stories. Have a good day.